People, deluded. Let me step back. I don't know if you lot can see me well enough. I'm rattled, anyways. But I've woke up the morning after the night before. Now I've woke up. It's around 6:30. Well, I should be really sleeping for extra half an hour, man. I like my sleep, and after last night's performance, our 3-1 defeat. I was about to say 3-1 victory, 3-1 defeat against Wolves. I'm sure you're at the stage as an Arsenal fan where, well, generally we go through pessimism, optimism, really believing, and then back to reality as Arsenal fans at the right time. But I'm sure that's for the season, and I'm sure you've had similar things in regards to the top four. People, I can't speak for everybody in it, and a lot of people. And again, I can't lie, I've not been in the mood, man. But obviously, I like talking to you lot, guys. So you lot have been replying and chatting to me on my Snap, my Insta, and all of these things. Sometimes it gets too crazy to reply and that, but I haven't been in the mood in it. I think top four's gone. That's for me, innit? Of course, I hope to God or whatever religion in whatever God or whatever higher power you believe in, innit? I hope to your God and my God that we get top four, people. I don't want to be wrong. Mathematically, yes, it's still possible. What, we're on 65 points. I think United are on We're on 66. Sorry, I think United are on 65. I'm not sure. I can't be 100% sure, people. And I think Spurs are obviously ahead of us because they did what they needed to do. And what's it? Chelsea have won again. Chelsea drew against Burnley, so they did what they didn't do what they needed to do. But it's them versus United now. You're hoping to God in that game again on Saturday or Sunday, whenever it is, that one of them draw that game, or both. Well, that's stupid. Both of them draw that game, because if one takes 3 points, we're relying on a lot of people. I think United are gonna. Well, I'm already wrong, but I thought they were gonna get 4 to 6 points in their next 2 games, because it's the point in the season where bookie stuff starts happening. Everyone can still get top four. Us, Spurs are going to get it, in my opinion, and I think Chelsea are the favourites in fourth. Who else? Obviously, United, I still think mathematically you can't rule out anybody, because while it's still mathematically possible, everybody's choking. Spurs are the only ones fighting on all fronts. Well, obviously, not all fronts. There are some competitions, but fighting for the Champions League and making a good meal of it. Premier League as well. At one point, they took 1 point from 15 games, people, and they've bounced back and they're doing their thing now. I think top four's gone. Not because of mathematical stuff, people. I don't... Mathematically, you can still fight and it's still there. And if you still believe we can do it, and whether you think we're going to do it with points to spare, do it via goal difference, I don't know, in it, people. That's up to you. Me, I think it's gone. I think it's gone because of the application, people. Look how we played in March to April. There's a loss of focus. There's a loss of application. We're even in the last 2 games against Palace and Wolves, something that we've improved on in terms of set pieces and aerial threats. We've let ourselves down cheap. There's the 6 goals we've conceded in the last 2 games. 5 of them are definitely cheap goals. In the build-up to the first one, we obviously gave the ball away sloppy, but I'll give us that. I'll say 5 because it was a terrific free kick from Neves. 9 times out of 10, players are not doing that, in it. That's someone who works on the training field. Him, Ward-Prowse, etc. Them and there are threats. I think it's, for me, it's not even to do with the mathematics to do with it. It's the application, people. I keep seeing a loss of focus, a loss of application, simply choking when we know what we need to do, whether it's playing Everton after everybody's played, playing Palace in the same context as, to a degree, excluding Chelsea, and obviously midweek against Wolves. It doesn't matter. We've seen other teams have to play top 6 and think we need to take advantage, and we failed to do so. We failed to get back to winning ways. So I have to answer, do we have the bounce back ability? I have to say no. Do we have, when the going gets tough? No. We're playing well against sides like you've seen against Wolves and Palace. We play well when sides don't want to have a goal or they haven't woke up for the first 20 minutes. We're playing in front. We play all in front of them and we're happy. When these teams feed off the energy of their fans or their players start to wake up, we have issues. We have serious problems, and the fight, the grit, the determination isn't there. Any of these players in the squad, I have to question, how much does it mean to you? Because we talk about this all week as fans. Them man there, this is their profession. They're professional footballers. They must be talking about possibly Champions League and what happens if we win games or lose games. And I personally, obviously I think it means a lot to them, but I don't think it means enough to them. I haven't seen enough. I keep seeing choking. Everton choking, Palace choking. Now we've choked. We've dropped 9 points this month, and obviously you can look back at various points this season where we dropped other dumb points. Ironically, having to chase a game against Wolves at home, I feel Unai Emery's tactics let us down to a degree against Palace away, West Ham away, and there's been other games, and we suffer back-to-back defeats for the first time since the start of the season. Now, that shows the context. Start of the season, nobody was thinking top four. We were a long way off. This time we've hit a bunch of form, and we've hit in the wrong, and now we've hit negative patches of form in the wrong time. We can talk about formations, tactics, and things. I don't think you can really blame Unai Emery for the tactics yesterday. To be fair, yeah, you can say why did he play 4 away from home, knowing our away form is poor, and you've got Maitland-Niles who isn't an out-and-out fullback. Why did you do that but play a back 5 at home versus a back 4 away? It doesn't make sense. But I feel the squad out there, like against Palace, it was good enough. Good enough to get results. If you don't believe in results, definitely good enough to perform better. The application isn't there, man. The application, for me, when the second goal went in, I lost all hope, man. Because of what I'm seeing on the pitch, I'm seeing people's head drop. I'm seeing people not have a clue. I'm seeing people nervous and scared. And do they know what they were getting themselves into? This is the point in the season where all this happens. Injuries, backs against the wall, and you have to fight through it. And it goes away from talking about fight, hunger, determination, and them things there. I just don't feel these men have it in them. I was looking around, it's genuinely gone for me, people. Genuinely top 4 is gone. Like, it's Europa League or bust. Like, is gone. Like, I've accepted it. It's just the players have had the opportunity in their hands numerous times, and have bottled it time and time again. And if you do that on several occasions, 9 times out of 10 you'll pay for it. We could have been 5 clear at a point of United. I could sit here and say hindsight, could have, would have, should have, this, that, and the other. It's useless. I think it's gone. The only position that matters in May, and when we look back at several points this season, we're going to look back at where we've dropped down points this season. Some have been down to the majority have been down to the players and just poor defensive concentration. Some, in my opinion, have been down to Unai Emery's tactics. I'm not criticising Unai Emery for the game against Wolves. I feel his hand was forced. Aubameyang was injured and things like that. But I have to wonder, regardless of that having to force a change in the side, you can still play 5 at the back. Again, we should have beat them regardless of the formation, or played better. What I mean by that is just knowing must win. You don't win games because of one club is bigger than the others. And like I said, big up Wolves and credit to their fans and players and their manager. They did their thing. But for us, it keep fumbling it, man. I have to, like I said, regardless of Aubameyang's injury, why play 5 defenders at home and 4 away? It don't make no sense, especially when you've got Maitland-Niles. Maitland-Niles is my guy, but it was poor yesterday. We know he's better in as a wing back. You've played Monreal as well, so technically, if you play them both as wing backs, there's going to be, with an extra centre half, there'll be 4 defenders with Monreal, allowing Maitland-Niles a bit of leeway. Again, Maitland-Niles was poor and he has to hold his hands up. But why would you play 4 at home and 5 away from home when there's a difference between not only how both teams set up and were going to set up going into the game, but just our damn right away form? Like, even to do with away form, it only matters where you stand in May, and I don't think these players want it enough, man. These players are not fighting. It doesn't matter how you win games at this point in the season. Just have to do it. This ain't the time for pretty football. And like you saw yesterday, whether you're literally 3-0 down with 20 minutes to go or the start of the whistle, playing in front of them, going backwards, you have to be galvanised. You have to realise that this isn't going to be a typical Arsenal game, and someone has to grab the game by its neck and say, okay, cool, forget all the typical Arsenal things. Let's do a long ball. Let's go. Let me try dribble past one player too many. Let me put a tackle in, put a foot in and try and intimidate someone. Let me kind of rouse up everyone. I'm seeing the young players do that, and the young player, Maitland-Niles is doing that, and he's looking lost himself, and his head's dropping. I'm looking around, I'm not seeing it. When the sun is shining and the carpet is, in fact, Palace beat us on a sunny day, but when the sun's out and the sun is shining and all these things, yeah, it's good. And we've had good periods. We showed fight against Spurs away from home, and to get 4 points off Spurs, to get 4 points off United, to take 3 points off Chelsea. When last did we beat Chelsea in the league? Probably when Alexis Ozil and them man there scored at the Emirates. Good in patches, but it's not enough. It's not enough. We keep showing just a little bit to think there's some promise, and then reality hits. The squad isn't good enough. The players aren't good enough. But again, for me, it's nothing to do with the league table, the ability of players, who's good, who's bad, the tactics. Just collectively, from everybody connected, they don't want it enough. They don't want it enough. I love Unai Emery, but I have to question, does he want it enough with some of the things he's done this season, as great as he's been for me? I have to question the players, because they've got the Evertons, they've got the Palaces, especially because you've known what you've needed to do, and we've choked in all... Apologies, people. We've choked at every hurdle. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. We've made some progress this season, and if we don't get top 4, we can build upon a lot of this season, but it's over now. It was in our hands. Fumbled it, people. Fumbled it. This is why I told people we would drop points. I thought we could only afford to drop 4, maybe at a push 6. We've dropped 9 points this month alone. It's gone for me, people. Anyways, it's gone. At best, let's just hope for top 5. There's been some positives this season. Hopefully the bad players can get moved on. The good players can stay, if there is any. And some decent quality can come in. And then hopefully Emery can do a thing next season. And hopefully there'll be a more convincing challenge for top 4. Because when it comes to May, we're going to say, if this, but that, how this, what if that. And you can't do them things. If hindsight's a wonderful thing. If I never had a willy people, I'd be a female, wouldn't I? Like, do you see what I'm saying? We can't do ifs and buts. Like, do you see what I'm saying? It's what's the saying? If I had a willy, I'd be your uncle or whatever it is. Like, it's done, people. Like, it's done, man. Like, it's done. A rebuild's needed, but it's just, for me, away from the personnel, these players need to engineer themselves to learn how to fight. Because what difference did you see? Players were rested on Sunday. What difference did you see from anyone out there, people? Who didn't play that you could say, okay, they should have started? Torreira started, and Torreira was one of the okay or crapper players. Everybody was crap out there. There's no point cherry picking who was good, who was bad, and who was terrible, people. It was appalling. And that's for me as to why top 4's gone. I wasn't screaming top 4 at the start of the season. You regular watchers know I say this. I weren't on the top 4 train. I was saying every reason as to why we can't get top 4. You lot made me think, all right, cool, man. Maybe DG, you're being a bit too pessimistic. The squad, they've got through a couple games, especially the period when we turned it around against Rennes, took 4 points off United and Spurs. DG, maybe the fans and the subscribers are right about something. And I thought, you don't know, once you provide me with information and it makes sense, I'm going to be on the boat. So I thought we could get top 4. You lot know, I was very pessimistic. I became one of the most optimistic. Go and look at my video on Arsenal Fan TV. I'm saying we can get top 4. Now I'm going to look like a bit of an idiot when we don't and play. People want to run their bants and all things like that. And that's all fine. They should be doing that. I'll be doing the same thing. Football's about laughs. But it's gone for me, people. I'm back to what I'm saying at the start of the season. Cause the fight weren't there. Man was seeing some fights sometimes. And I was telling you, lot, there's periods where you got to continue this. It's over. I even made a vid saying we need 12 points. We can't take 12 points now. It's gone. It's gone. What? We've got Leicester, who have been in decent form. The only benefit is Leicester have not been keeping clean sheets. But we've got Leicester. We've got, who else? Burnley to come, which you saw what they did against Chelsea. And they just make it tough for us. Who else we got? You got Leicester. You got Burnley. I can't remember the other 2 people. Forgive me, man. Leicester, Burnley, Brighton at home. Forgive me, people. I can't. Obviously got the Europa League 2 legs against Valencia. I can't remember the 4th game we've got, people. Was it Wolves? Forgive me, and if we've only got 3 games left, I could be bugging out. But if we have got another game, I can't remember it. But people, it's been poor, man. What away game have we? There obviously has been one away game we've played well, but Spurs ironically away, and we let ourselves down against Old Trafford, but. What good away games have we put in? I feel the United game at Old Trafford, I'm going way back. We let ourselves down, shot ourselves in the foot. West Ham, selves in the foot. Tactics when taking off players against Palace, shot ourselves in the foot. Yesterday, shot ourselves. Everton, shot ourselves. Palace, shot ourselves. That's about 6 off the top of my head. Obviously, I'm even speaking about the defeat at the start of the season to Chelsea, the 2 defeats against Manchester City. Who else have we got? Liverpool caning. Good point against Liverpool, but Liverpool caning us at Anfield. There's several reasons as to why we drop points. Palace have taken 4 points off us this season. Credit to them. They've done their thing. Wolves have taken 4 points off us this season. Credit to them. I think they've beat United twice, so they've technically taken 6 points off United. Forgive me if I'm wrong, and that was in the FA Cup. But I can't remember. But do you see what I'm saying, people? The contrast is mad. And again, I don't even care to speak about home form, away form, mathematically possible, and all of these goal difference and all of these things. I'm looking at the application. I'm looking at before the game started, during and after. And I'm not seeing people that want to get top 4. People that understand the task at hand. Yes, obviously, I don't want us to go into every game and think every goal conceded or scored and think immediately what it means for the top 4. But at the same time, it's like these guys do not realise the opportunity they have at hand. Especially if we get to the top 4, of course, Champions League is not going to be a thing. Arsenal get Champions League. We return to Europe. Significant funds come in. We sign XYZ player and we're back. It's not going to happen. But and we know we're going to be jokemen in the Champions League. Probably hold a 10-2 caning again. But just aspiration, just the fact of having the squad having a goal and realising that. And failing to do so. How can you build upon winning league titles, sustain top 4 challenges, advancing to other stages in Europe. It's a madness, and I think Unai Emery he has to win Europa League, because at times he's gambled unnecessarily this season, in my opinion. Gambled against Palace. Yes, if players need rest, they need rest, but he gambled against Palace. Not really getting on to me in regards to the fixtures and the lineup and stuff against Wolves, because I don't have much complaints. But possibly could he have went with a back five? I'm not too sure. I feel West Ham away set us up really for failure as well. So there's been times Unai Emery's let the squad down, but there's been more often than not, I mean, fans down, because he never let the squad down, but more often than not, he's done his thing. Against Wolves, it's fully the players. I'm looking at the players. It doesn't matter about tactics, league tables, just application, having a goal, and standing up to be counted when it's needed. All failed. So it's gone. I'm at the point now, people. I think it's gone. It's still mathematically possible, so we have to fight. But honestly, people, without sounding too reactionary, I'm at the point. Play Mavropanos, give Joe Willock some game time. And Nketiah looked a bit sharp when he came on. Give these lot game time now. Just let them play, Carl. At least it's gone now for me. At least these lot will have something they can improve by getting some games. They'll make mistakes, but I'm prepared to take that with them. At least it meant something. Look at Eddie. It meant something to Eddie. Put a lovely ball in for Lacazette. He linked up. Obviously, he's not played and things like that, and he wants to make an impact. It meant some shit to him, people. Guendouzi's had his critics last week, but it meant something when he came on. Cole is not perfect, and I'm not looking at man with rose tints, because everybody's been good and poor this season, but it meant something. It didn't mean nothing to them players out there. I love Lacazette, and I'm not trying to individually name drop people, but where was he? First minute, Mkhitaryan lost the ball for the first, but Ozil and Lacazette, Mkhitaryan put a lovely ball in the 14th minute. Who was trying to get on the end of it and thinking about the task at hand? Midfield losing focus for 2 of the goals we've conceded. Leno moving shaky. Defence moving shaky. Maitland-Niles and Iwobi sharp when they came on against Palace. Got to start today against Wolves. And I love them both. You lot know I call these things out fairly. Anonymous. Simply anonymous. So players are not playing galvanised enough. Players are not showing basic consistency at this time of the season. This is the time of the season. It doesn't matter about unbeaten runs. It doesn't matter about what happened in March. We can only deal with April. And I tell you lot to have balance and stop being reactionary. People like to talk in extremes with Arsenal, with Unai Emery, etc. Even just look at when I gave Unai Emery 5 out of 10. Of course, that scoreline might have been a bit mad, but look, did you people that listen to my reasons behind it? I said specifically to talk about Unai Emery briefly now, people. For every great tactical thing he's done and the players have let him down, I feel he's had questions to answer for. And it does feel like you can't ask legit questions of Unai Emery. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I back him. He's my man. But I ask questions. Nobody gets it perfect, people. And definitely more so against Palace than Wolves, for me anyways. The only things I can say about him, possibly, why did you play? I'd like to know why he played a back 4 away and a back 5 at home. The pivot, obviously, in the Palace game. Against Wolves, I can't have any complaints with Unai Emery, because the lineup was there, man. His hand was forced because of Lacazette. I mean, not Lacazette, Aubameyang's injury, but he went out there. It's gone for me because the application's not there. Too many times the players have known the task at hand before the game, during and after, and they've choked people. Game management. How do you react to it? We went 1-0 down. It was a lovely free kick, but it was a poor sequence of play that led to it. 1-0 down. How do you react to that? What did the players say? Did they say, okay, let's soak up pressure for a bit and get back in this? At 2-0, what is said? At 3-0, the game's done, but what is said? Because you're not seeing a reaction. Whether they're winning 1-0 or 3-0, or it's the 10 minutes from time or the first 10, it's the same way. It's the same way, people. It's the same way. I don't even... Yeah, you could say if you had a Aubameyang, it could have been a different game, but that's all apples and oranges, people. It was appalling. Let's call a spade a spade. It weren't there. It weren't there. And on that note, I've got nothing more to say, so I'm going to keep it stepping. People, DG, I'm out.